Hello. Our concept today is how to derivative the product of two functions. So if we have two functions, one of them is g of x and the other function is h of x. And f of x is the product of these two functions. So g of x times h of x. So to find the derivative or the rate of change of the f of x with respect to x, so we must derivative the both sides of the function f of x in its relationship with g and h. So derivative of the left-hand side will be d over dx f of x, which we can write it like f prime of x equals derivative of the right-hand side g of x times h of x. Now, how to derivative the product of g and h? The rule here is derivative of the first function, which is g, so g prime times h of x plus then derivative of the second function, which is h, so h prime times g of x. So this is f prime of x, and this is the product rule and derivative. For example, f g of x equals x squared plus 2, x minus 1, and h of x equals x power 3. Find f prime of x, where f of x equals g of x times h of x. Solution. So, our target to find f prime of x, and f of x is the product of g of x and h of x. I prefer the following process to find the derivative of product of two functions, because of we have several reasons to follow this process. The first one is to reduce the risk during the process, during the steps. Okay. The second one, when we have the value of x or a point that we want to find the rate of change of f of x at this point, this will be more easier to find the value of the first derivative by using this process. Okay, let us show what are these processes. The first one, write g. So we have g of x equals what? G of x equals x squared plus x minus 1. X squared plus 2x minus 1. Then find g prime, which is the rate of change of g respect to x, or the derivative of g. So we must derivative the right-hand side, differentiate the right-hand side. So x squared, its derivative will be 2x, and then plus derivative to x is 2. The next Of course, the derivative of -1, it will be 0. So we can cancel it. The next, write h of x. And we have h of x is x cubed. Then find h prime of x, which is the rate of change of h with respect to x. So we must derivative or differentiate the both sides of the relation that h of x is equal to x cubed. So derivative of x cubed is 3x squared. Now, to get the derivative of f of x, so f prime of x equals, you just find the product of the means. So g prime times h of x. And it is easy to multiply them in this case. So x cubed times 2x, we get 2x to the power 4. Then plus x cubed times 2, 2x cubed. Then plus the product of the extremes. So 3x squared multiplied by x squared plus 2x minus 1. We get 3x squared times x squared, we get 3x to the power 4. Then 3x squared times 2x plus 6x cubed. Then 3x squared multiplied by -1, we get minus 3x squared. And the last step is more easier because we have like terms to find the simplest form of f prime. So we can get the simplest form of f prime by collecting the like terms and add them. So we have here 2x power 4 plus 3x power 4. They are like terms because they have the same variable, which is x, and the same degree, which is 4. So they are like terms. And then you can add them by adding their coefficients. So 2x cubed power 4 plus 3x power 4, we get 5x to the power 4. Same, we have another two like terms that are 2x cubed plus 6x cubed. So we get 8x cubed plus 8x cubed. And then minus 3x squared, which has no like term. Then, another example. Find the slope of the tangent to the curve of the function f of x equals x squared minus 2 times square root x plus 8 at the point its x coordinate is 1. As we know, the slope of the tangent of the curve we can get by using the rate of change. So you must find the rate of change of this function at x equals 1. And we see that f of x is a product of x squared minus 2 and square root of x plus 8. We can never simplify f of x to get the f prime. So to get f prime, we must follow the rule of the product rule to get it. And then we can call the first one, which is x squared minus 2, as g of x. And then the second factor, which is square root of x plus 8, is h of x. Okay? By following the previous process, the first step, write g, which is x squared minus 2, and then g prime, which is 2x, and then h of x, which is the square root of x plus 8, then h prime, which is 1 over 2 square root of x plus 8. As you know, the rule of derivative of the square root. Now we finish all the process of the derivative. So after finishing the process of the derivatives, we can at any step plug in the value of x. Because of we are not going to repeat the derivative. We are not going to find the second derivative, third derivative, you see. So you can now just plug in the value of x, sub in x. We have x equals what? We have x equals 1. So we can calculate here, okay, to be clear steps and more easier to calculate the slope of the tangent. So we have x equals 1. So 1 squared is 1, 1 minus 2. We get negative 1. Then g prime, 2 times 1 is 2. Then h of x. So 1 plus 8 is 9. Square root of 9 is 3. And at the end, h prime of x. So it is 1 over 6. Because we have 1 plus 8 is 9. Square root of 9 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. So it will be 1 over 6. Then the slope of the tangent, which is f prime, we can get f prime of 1 directly by calculating the product of the means, which is 1 times 3 is 3, then minus the product of the extremes, it must be plus. But we have here plus, and the product of the extremes, negative 1 times 1 over 6, we get minus 1 over 6. So 3 minus 1 over 6 equals 17 over 6. So the slope of the tangent equals 17 over 6 at a point its x coordinate is 1.